If y'all remember, after the Bengals beat the Bills last week 27-10, the Bengals players on the sideline were saying, yo, we're going to Burrowhead. They were mocking the Chiefs' home stadium, Arrowhead, where the game will take place on Sunday. All eyes are on this matchup. You might not realize it. I literally realized it moments ago. This is the youngest we have seen two quarterbacks in a conference championship game that have previously been in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow have both played in the Super Bowl, and they are 27 and under. We are literally watching young brilliance before our eyes. Quarterback matchups do not get better than this. Quarterback matchups do not get younger than this. Buckle up for an incredible game, but right now, buckle up for an incredible show. I got to get to the desk because I got to talk to all of these incredible minds. LeSean "Shady" McCoy. What up, bro?
What's up, brother?
It's all good, man. You nervous? You know this weekend.
Never. Jalen Hurts' words. Everything comes to Philadelphia.
That's true. Okay, but right now, everything is in Burrowhead. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. Who do you have more confidence in on Sunday? I know.
I was just watching tape, and Joe Burrow looks serious.
You can change your answer.
But I'm going with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Is Andy Reid going to be there?
He is.
We call him Big Red. Is Big Red going to be in the building? I got to go with the Chiefs. Like I said, Joe Burrow, man, has been lights out. Been watching him on tape. He knows where to go with the ball. He's having a phenomenal playoff run. But it's Patrick Mahomes. It's the Chiefs. Like, how can I go against Patty Mahomes, MVP, Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP? I can't go against that, right? And I feel comfortable because I know he has Andy Reid. He's the best coach in the NFL. Hands down.
That's real.
So I think that matchup of, and also being at home, Patrick Mahomes, even if the talent is not the same, I think that the Bengals are probably a hotter team. I think that the Bengals are probably more talented, but I can't get over the experience part, and I can't get over Patrick Mahomes having that MVP type of performance for them to win. That's what's going to have to happen. And I think he can do that. So I'm riding on a guy that I know, guy I played with, and I'm riding with a coach that I know and a coach that I played with.
If y'all do not know, LeSean McCoy was drafted by Andy Reid when Andy Reid was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. LeSean McCoy was acquired by the Chiefs and won a Super Bowl with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So you're talking to somebody who knows a thing or two. Now, I don't know from personal experience, but I'll be watching a little bit too, Shane.
Okay.
I'll be watching just a little bit.
Right.
I'm more confident in Joe Burrow. Winning is a habit.
Yeah.
Losing is a habit. And Joe Burrow has mastered the habit of winning against the Kansas City Chiefs.
That is true.
He's 3-0. We talk about this colloquially, but it's a real thing. There are two scoreboards.
Okay.
There's one scoreboard that you at home you see.
Right.
That's a scoreboard usually found around the stadium that tells you the literal score. But that second scoreboard, it lies within the minds of the players. When they're in the locker room, lacing up the cleats, when they're putting on their socks, making sure they don't have uniform violations, in the back of their mind, they're wondering, can we really beat these guys? Or in the front of their mind, they're thinking, oh, we know we're going to win. And they're going to be shocked when they're losing. Okay. That's where Joe Burrow is. In the front of Joe Burrow's mind, when he's lacing up his icy whites, he's going to be thinking to himself, I wonder how much we're going to win by. Ooh. I wonder if we're going to have to play from behind and catch up this game, or if we're just going to put our foot on their necks like we did the Buffalo Bills from the start. I'm riding with Joe Burrow because he does not know how to lose to Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes beats Joe Burrow, it will be the first time he does it. But if and when Joe Burrow beats Patrick Mahomes, it's just going to be another Sunday. It's going to be another Sunday at the office. That's why I'm rocking with Joe Burrow. But Joy Taylor, educate me, please. Who are you more confident in, Burrow or Mahomes?
Well, we're just talking about the quarterbacks
That's
here.
it.
We aren't making our picks yet. That's for later. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes.
I like it.
Now, I love and adore Joe Burrow, and he is playing excellence football. He's great. He's him, as he said. But Patrick Mahomes has more experience in these spaces. He's the king still, even with this matchup. And he's the MVP this year. Mm-hmm. And I know the injury is a question, but he's actually pretty effective in the pocket.
Yeah.
His numbers are actually more efficient when he stays in the pocket. So all the magic that he does that makes him Patrick Mahomes, and the fear that he can do anything in these side passes and no-look passes and all that, which he does, when he's actually just playing efficient football from the pocket, he's great also. So I really, if I have to put my faith in one particular player that they're going to play at an MVP level, it's going to be the MVP, Patrick Mahomes.
Dave, I'm curious in your answer for this reason. You've watched Joe Burrow more than I would say anybody on television, definitely more than anybody on this desk. You're an LSU alum. Yeah. Joe Burrow is an LSU alum. You watched arguably the greatest college football team. The reason I say arguably, they have more wins, I think, than any college football team in college football history. Not arguably. Oh. And you watched Joe Burrow
argue with your mom.
Lead that team. Then you watched Joe Burrow go to the NFL and lead a Bengals team to a Super Bowl. So surely your answer is going to be that you're more confident in Joe Burrow, right?
Thank you for outlining why I hate this segment. I'm going to get a call from LSU. They're going to take my damn degree away when this is over. I love Joe, but I can't sit up here day after day and talk about how I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, and we don't give him enough credit for how much better he is. The numbers bear it out. The resume bears it out. I think Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the league right now. But number one is Patrick Mahomes. I hate to choose between the two, but that's how I've felt all year. The Chiefs were my pick to go to the Super Bowl. They were my pick to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to back out now. And the main reason for that is because that's how much belief I have in Patrick Mahomes. And I hear what you're saying, but, like, Shady, you were on the Chiefs. I know the Bengals have beaten them 3 times, and they deserve all the credit in the world for that. You think there's anybody in the Chiefs locker room that's, like, doubting about it? And why?
They've been there before. They're a winning team. They're a big top dog.
And because maybe number 15 is in there.
He makes everybody believe that.
Their scoreboard in their head while they're lacing up their cleats should say 15. Because they got number 15. And I got to see. And, I mean, it's not fair to Joe. It's not fair to the Bengals. They've proven they can do this before. But last year, what gets lost at halftime of the AFC Championship game last year, Patrick Mahomes was 18 of 21 for 220 and 3 touchdowns.
He was going crazy.
He played one of the worst halves of his career, and that's how the Bengals won. Not to take their credit away from them. I just trust Patrick Mahomes not to do that again. I trust him to rise to the occasion and not literally play one of the worst halves of his career. So, in an argument that I can't win because I love them both, I'll take Patrick Mahomes.
I love this matchup. I'm going to love today's show. Y'all have to accept my apology for my excitement. Joy, you ran track and field. What I love in track and field 2.5, I didn't run track and field. I threw shots from the discus. But what I love in track and field is there are some dudes that can just get out the blocks.
Right.
Some dudes just get out the blocks. But there are those other people who they're going to go get them. So when they go get out the blocks, you're not worried because you're like, yeah, that's cute. They're going to go get them. You go to a track meet with somebody who ain't watched before, and they're watching a 400 for those at home, 1 lap around the track. And somebody gets out, and they're winning through half of the race. And everybody's like, oh, my God. And you just sit there. You watch them meet before. Drink your water. You're like, don't worry. They're going to go get them. That, to me, is how I'm watching Joe Burrow in this matchup. Patrick Mahomes, 18 of 21, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Joe Burrow, don't worry. We're going to go get him. Chiefs matchup this year versus Kansas City. Don't worry. We gonna go get him. If Joe Burrow's on the field, he's just sitting there like, yeah, let me just go ahead and reel you in real quick. It's not, to me, Joy, about who's the best quarterback in the league, because that is Patrick Mahomes, anybody but a Bengals fan would say. To me, though, it's about who's going to be the best quarterback on Sunday. And with Patrick Mahomes and that ankle injury, if I were torn, that's why I err on Joe Burrow. But educate me and speak on how does Patrick Mahomes' injury impact how you gauge your confidence level?
Well, I mean, he's going to have a week of rest and rehab. And if he's okay to be out there, he's going to be at a high level. 98%, 90% of Patrick Mahomes is still better than most of the league.
That is true.
Now, I could go there with you that you'd be like, well, then it's Joe Burrow. And that's why this isn't really, this isn't meant to be controversial. We're having this conversation. There's no right or wrong. I could easily pick Joe Burrow, and I would be there. It's not outrageous. He's an unbelievable player who I've loved since the beginning, and he's proven to be correct. He's excellent. But this is Patrick Mahomes. He's the king still. He still is. He still has the hardware. He's still shown us time and time again he can win in different ways. He does have Big Red, so they're going to drop a game plan that's not going to put him in harm's way, particularly in the beginning of the game, because you don't want to risk it getting rolled up on or something like that. So they're going to protect him as much as possible. And he's, even in the game last week, he was still getting out there with the injury. So I'm not assuming that at this point it's going to hinder him that much.
Shady, break this down for the viewers. You were in Buffalo, and I believe Leslie Frazier was the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills then. Sean McDermott, a brilliant head coach, brilliant defensive coach as well. Both brilliant. But the Bengals picked them apart.
They did.
They came out there without 2 starting goal linemen, maybe even 3, and Joe Burrow was throwing dots. Like, it was bad. It was real bad.
Yeah, it was.
Do you think that with Mahomes hobbled to any degree, that Joe Burrow will go out there and, based upon how hot he was last week, just keep on rolling? How confident are you in Burrow as well? You were just watching.
Yeah, no. I love Joe Burrow, right? People think that if you don't give him the credit right away, you don't like him. No, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks. I mean, he's a beast. I was watching the tape even for this segment.
What impressed you most while watching the tape?
His decision-making, right? Him throwing the ball, throwing his receivers open, him knowing where to go with the ball, right? Him not panicking. First read's not there, second read's not there, boom, not panicking. Third read's there, boom. Then when it's not there, even him scrambling. Like, Joe can do it all.
Yep.
And I think he doesn't get enough credit for how smart he is. He's an intelligent player, especially when you watch him. So when you talk about a player not having the super arm strength, well, we have that Joe Burrow type of mechanics as far as the mental aspect of the game. You don't need it. That's the scary part. I think that I'm definitely going with Mahomes just because of his resume and what I know from playing with him. I never played with Joe. I played with Pat. He's a competitor. All this Burrowhead stuff, this is driving him crazy, right? I'm serious. It's driving him crazy. And you have Andy Reid, so I'm going with that. But they could lose this game too now, right? This is a coin flip game.
Dave, would you be surprised? Would you be surprised if Joe Burrow substantially outplayed Patrick Mahomes? I add the word substantially because clearly he can outplay him. We know that. But would you be surprised?
Substantially, yeah. I mean, I just as a football fan, I hope this is a classic game where both quarterbacks are at their best. I think Joe is capable of outplaying Patrick Mahomes, especially when you consider Pat's injury. Travis Kelce's also on the injury report. I expect him to play, but he's dealing with something. So, yeah, I could see Joe outplaying Pat substantially. I don't like the word substantially.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either because it's going to be a clash of titans.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.